Let me introduce these players real quick. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have our Storm Gaming Protoss in the blue, looking insanely strong today. It's MaxPax. His opponent, though, having a great run, taking down Clem in that semifinals. Must be feeling pretty good heading into this one. For the Shopify Rebellion, it's Lambo. Excuse me for a moment. So we forgot Roddy, and by we, I mean the players forgot Roddy. I'm trying to see if I can screen share with him on Discord, because I don't want him to miss it. Okay, looks like he's gonna screen share. All right, it looks like he's good. He's good. That means we can just talk about the game. Excellent. So what's going on in this game? Exciting stuff? No, not really. It's pure macro. It's a Stargate opener for MaxPax. I imagine we're gonna see some oracles. Oracle's pretty good. But yeah, I do really like, I was kind of talking about this before we started. I do really like the current meta. Anything that it's the same every game, it does get boring. No matter how entertaining it is, it does get boring. I do like when players mix in cheeky builds, or at least just change it up. I mean, we're kind of at the point where I'm even happy to see Twilight Council first. Which, like, it's like, oh, they're going glaive to depths. It's really not that exciting, but because it only happens like 1 out of every 8 games now, it's a little bit more exciting. It's like, oh, we're getting the one Glaive the Depth opener game out of this Protoss. But that being said, I usually forget that it's the same build and kind of boring pretty quickly, because we start to have great control from these players. And we see this right away. MaxPax coming in, even with 2 queens there, just targets down 2 drones. That seems easy. It's very hard to do. Let me tell you, as somebody who's tried to micro oracles a lot, this kind of stuff is so hard to do. And he just gets 4 kills right away. And he's got the 2 adepts in here, poking, prodding, grabbing another drone. They're going to shade into the main base. There's still 2 of them as well. One of them's about to fall, but get a couple more kills before they do go down. And now a fresh oracle is here. Good morphs into those buildings there for Lambo, though, saving them. But he's lost 7 drones so far. He has killed the 2 adepts, though, so at least he's got that for him. They didn't get to shade out and escape or anything like that, but there's still a couple oracles around. 3 oracles, actually. It looks like they're going to go hit separately. Or are they going to try to join up? MaxPax maybe not sure yet. There's 3 queens down at this base. Doesn't quite get that drone. Goes back a little bit too soon. So good defense from Lambo now. I think MaxPax already got the damage he was really looking for at this point. The oracles happy just to scout, see what's going on. It is just +1 melee right now. Pretty normal stuff. Lings get thwarted by the shield battery at the 3rd. MaxPax, I feel like one of the few players that really truly utilizes shield batteries. I see a lot of players, they try to skip them, right? It's more efficient that way. But man, so much dies to run-bys because they skip them. I feel like Dark has such a good time in Korea because so many of those players are like, no, I can get away with it. And Dark's like, I'm just going to send 6 lings in and click on some probes. You're like, damn it. Who could have predicted this? Well, yeah, MaxPax I mean, look, he's getting so set up for these run-bys. And the run-bys have absolutely plagued not just Protosses, but everybody in every matchup. MaxPax was doing Zealot run-bys against Spirit earlier and just crushing them. The run-bys have been a crucial part of the gameplay of the last couple of years, really. It's made it really, really exciting, and it's added a level of difficulty to this game that I don't know if we ever really thought it would be possible. But just like that simple tactic has been so strong, and we really see that the best players in the world are able to just defend against it beautifully usually. MaxPax gonna put some pressure on here. I love the stasis trap, but beautiful job by Lambo triggering that stasis trap. Looks like another one's gonna go down as the Lings start pushing forward, so he's got to be careful again. It's just Lings and Queens right now. These Lings do have +1 melee. They'll chew through the Stalkers pretty quickly. Lings going for a big surround. Again, I love the 2 Lings out front here. The stasis trap triggers on a handful of Lings. Kind of acts like a force field here, so the Lings can't get a good surround. 42 more Zerglings on the way for Lambo, but those are Lings that are not here right now. Lambo desperately trying to get these Lings out, trying to get a surround on the Stalkers. The Stalker count is getting so high, though, that I don't know if it's going to be enough, but those Lings come out of the stasis trap in a full surround on the Stalkers. One of the Oracles turns on, though, and it's just going to chew through 8 of those Zerglings. Lambo just trying to fight this with pure Ling Queen right now, and honestly, the Queen's pretty much all dead. It's just pure Ling at this point to try to hold on against the Stalkers. And generally speaking, Lings are pretty decent against Stalkers, but this is so many Stalkers now. MaxPax was taking such good fights earlier on that now there might be too many, and the Oracles come in. The Queens are all dead. The Oracles are chewing through these Lings, and even though a lot of Stalkers are starting to go down, I think it's still just going to be a huge advantage for MaxPax, and overwhelming advantage for MaxPax. As Lambo's forced to tap out, MaxPax takes game 1. Got some good damage done early on, but it really was those Blink Stalkers coming in to seal the deal. Looking insanely strong. Now, hopefully we can get Roddy into game 2. All right. He's in. We got Roddy in. Man, I know that pain, Roddy. I know that. I can't believe they forgot him. Of all people to forget, how are they going to forget Rotterdam? Man. I feel like Roddy's never going to let Lambo live that one down. You know? He's never going to let him. All right, we're getting into game 2. Neo Humanity is our map. Let's go ahead and hop in. Let's join our players. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, it is the Red Zergy, representing the Shopify Rebellion. Lambo, the Rebels. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner, in the blue, is Systrom Gaming's MaxPax. Yeah, MaxPax showing exactly why those Blink Stalkers are so strong in this matchup right now. Excuse me. I actually muted my mic that time. Sneeze. Yeah, MaxPax looking crazy strong with Blink Stalkers today. Taking down Hero Marine, Spirit, and now Lambo in that first game. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do as Lambo. I think a big part of the problem was that early game harassment from MaxPax kept that economy of Lambo down, right? He killed like 7 drones. And then Lambo was trying to get into like mass Ling, basically, which can be a decent counter to the Blink Stalkers, especially if you get on top of them early. But he wasn't able to get on top of them early because those Lings were a little late because he was busy building drones to replace the ones that died. And I feel like that is just a problem for Lambo. I don't know how you exactly overcome that. He's got to play like Cyril, I guess. See if game 2 goes similarly. I hope it's a little bit different. I imagine it's going to be another Stargate opener for MaxPax, though. Doesn't really need to change it up. The last game was pretty standard, solid play. Obviously, the aggression with the Stalkers. The beautiful thing about the way MaxPax plays is he's very open to like not committing with a build for the most part. There are some situations where you have to commit with a build, but I think MaxPax is usually pretty good about being flexible. He'll give himself the opportunity. He's like, okay, should I be aggressive, pressure, or do I need to pull back and expand and defend? Or do I just need to like poke and expand behind it, right? Like, what are my options here? He gives himself that moment and makes that decision. And I mean, if you allow yourself to change that up in the middle of a game, I think it can be very, very powerful. In that game, he deduced correctly that aggression was the way to go. He heard that song in his head, you know that. Be aggressive, be aggressive. The Adepts goes down, but a couple of drones and a couple of Lings die for it. Just a little bit of a trade. We have a little bit of a request in chat. Oh, where's my hat? I don't know. I'll do this hatless. Let's hope we can do it. This is a special request from Skynet. As this Oracle comes in here, it's going to yeet itself forward. What's it going to say, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to go, yeehaw! And get 1 kill. Yeehaw is not quite as powerful without the hat on, but my hat is far away. Can't quite reach it. Oracle dives in, gets 3 kills in total. Was that a larva? I heard the squealing of a larva. It doesn't show up on here. That's actually hilarious. The squealing of a larva as it dies. Kind of makes you feel bad for it, doesn't it? Another drone going down. Just a couple of kills here and there. 5 drones so far this game. What's the follow-up? Okay, it's a Twilight Council and a Forge here for MaxPax. What upgrade is he going to upgrade? I wish I could do a prediction for that in chat right now. Type 1 for Blink, 2 for Charge, 3 for Glaives. Let's go, guys. All right, I'm going to hide the production tab. We're going to look at it in a couple of seconds, okay? When we get to 5:35, we'll go look at it. And we'll see what upgrade it is. Casting without a production tab is scary. Like, genuinely, I'm kind of scared right now. Yeah, I'll click the units tab. Ooh, we got the oracles hitting from 2 sides. 2 oracles over here. 1 oracle over here. Threatening to pop on in as well. It was Blink. Good job if you typed 1 in chat. If you didn't type 1 in chat, better look next time. A few more drones go down. 11 so far this game. It's still for just the 1 adept. I mean, this kind of early game harassment is what separates the highest level Protoss from the tier just below them. This is what keeps MaxPax and Hero winning tournaments, winning consistently, beating the highest level players in the world. Is this just insanely strong control. This early game, little bits of damage here and there. It's crazy because it's like, it used to be the oracles would come in and they'd be like, oh, okay, they're gonna either get a couple of kills or they're not, right? And they'd be like, oh, it's got 4 kills, it's not great. But now it's like, well, they got 2 kills this pass, and they get 2 kills the next pass, and then they get 5 kills the next pass, and all of a sudden we're at 16 workers lost for 1 adept. Like, the trades are just insane for MaxPax right now. And behind this, of course, he's got Blink. He's got +1 about to finish. He's got +1 armor on the way as well. I assume he'll be getting into charge shortly after this. He's on Storm right now. There are 10 roaches on the way, though. Lambo is getting his units out. This is not just pure ling this game. He's got Bane speed and Roach speed both in production. 5th base drops down. Lings do get caught up here, but Lambo's going for a much beefier, much more substantial army this game. And I do like to see that. Ling's looking for some counter damage. They get up rope. Good to see that MaxPax has a 4th base. Ooh, nice stasis trap on the Lings here. Ling's trying to get the surround so the roaches can catch up, but unfortunately the roaches are speedless. So they are slow boys right now. Can MaxPax see those units that are stasis trapped? No, they're not. Okay. I thought maybe the stasis trap would, like, give vision, you know? Ooh, Baneling's trying to run by. They kill some buildings. And that is about it. Lambo's been tagged, but it looks like he's preparing for a bit of an attack here. Stasis trap going down, but gets triggered immediately by a group of Lings. Infestation pit for that hive on the way behind this for Lambo. Nicely timed hive. Drops a spire as well. Maybe thinking about mutas, maybe thinking about carriers behind this for MaxPax and that he might need that. We don't actually see any Stargate follow-up tech right now. MaxPax keeping it on ground level. Lings and Banes, though, looking to hit on the right-hand side. MaxPax, I would say, is ready for it. I feel like this might not be enough Zealots for this many Banes. Might kind of just end up being a trade. I think Lambo would be okay with. I feel like Lambo's okay trading with this group of Zealots. He's going to dive in. He's going to spot the Zealots. Good split for MaxPax, though. Just sending 1 or 2 Zealots forward at a time. MaxPax so far with a stellar defense. Setting up his 5th base. Trying to get on even bases with the Zerg player. And Storm hitting all the stasis trapped units. Actually literally just doing damage to the Zealots. It's beautiful. Ooh, those Storms are very good, though, on top of the Roaches and the Banelings. No Ravagers here. Kind of surprises me. But I think Lambo's trying to save his gas. The Spire is done. He's got the Hive about to finish. He's got a lot of money kind of banked up right now. Spend a little bit of it on 50 Lings. He's trying to keep MaxPax back. I think MaxPax is realizing he has a much stronger army. And this, I'm a little worried for Lambo. Like, where are good units? What's the follow-up unit plan here? There's no Ravagers, which I feel like are pretty decent units. Not like a ton of Banelings. No Hive units coming out. There is a Greater Spire on the way, but against this many Blink Stalkers and Archons, I don't know if I love the Greater Spire here. Renal started up. Zealots trying to get a run by. They do get caught, but they are distracting. Banelings trying to get on top of the High Templar. I think they got 1 maybe. But I don't know if that's enough. It did use up all the Storms, though. So now the Lings, Banes, and Roaches can push forward, I say, as 2 more Storms drop down. MaxPax pulls back, though. Jump on top of a couple of Queens here. Lambo trying to get the rest of his units together and push forward. Was he too focused on that high-tech units? Yeah, he's going to push this back, forces a couple of these Archons to morph. Just feels like, I don't know if Lambo's got enough here. These Roaches, they're completely unupgraded. There's +2 melee for these units. That does not help the Roaches at all. Couple banelings gonna hit some probes in here, but MaxPax still ahead on workers even after that damage because he is killing workers on the other side of the map. It looks like that was cleaned up, but he killed 12 drones and lost 10 probes. Lambo is up in supply now, though. He's gotten enough units out to be ahead in supply. MaxPax's army is genuinely very good against Broodlords right now. I feel like you put the Archons up front, eat a bunch of Broodlings, and then you blink underneath them. So the rest of this army's job is to make sure those Stalkers cannot blink under the Broods. Not a lot of money in the bank for Broods right now, it seems. Only one in production. Where are the rest of these units going? They're going to take down this prison. All right, you know what? It's a very good use for the Corruptors. Here's the big morph. 6 more in production at the moment. MaxPax wants to put some pressure on once again. This base is very low. It's a very juicy target. And Lambo has not attempted to take a 6th, which really surprises me. And that is a dead 5th. And this would be a beautiful time for this hatchery to be finishing up right now, or maybe this one. But we see no attempted expansion for Lambo, just sitting on 4 bases. And I feel like that's going to put a huge clock on him where, yes, he's got a big army. Yes, he has a high-tech army with the Broods coming out. But he's got +1 flyer attacks. Why flyer attacks? I don't know, man. Broodlings coming out, shooting him on the rocks just so he gets more of them out for this initial engagement. MaxPax diving forward. He's got Storms. He's got Blink Stalkers. He's going to take out one Brood. He's going to storm the crap out of this ground army, forcing these units back. Broodling's trying to target down the High Templar. Do get one of the High Templar, get a couple of Archons. Broodlings running forward. These are just free units. Lambo is happy to be sending these Broodlings out as much as possible. Gets another Archon. Doesn't want to go too far forward, but he's very heavy on the Broods. Now behind this, MaxPax is transitioning into air. This is where that +1 upgrade for the Corruptors is going to come in handy if Lambo keeps any Corruptors around. There's 3 Tempests about to pop. MaxPax is just being patient. He knows Lambo's economy is pretty garbage. He's thinking, I'll let this base go. I'll let the probes die. It'll be worth it if he can win the fight later. And there we go. The first Tempest fires its shot, and suddenly Lambo realizes, I need those Corruptors back out. Starts building them again, but we have a Broodlord already dead. Tempest can chase this a little bit. MaxPax trying to take a new 5th base over to the left side here. And it looks like that will finish. Lambo is expanding in the same direction. He's retaking that 5th. There are still 6 Broodlords in the air, but with more Tempests and now carriers and a mothership on the way, Lambo needs to really focus on that air army. I don't think he's got enough money for it. It feels like he's very low on money. He's getting pathogen glands, but it is not here yet. And I think Lambo's economy may not have been good enough this game to now compete with his army. He's also traded a little bit more poorly. It's honestly much more even than I would have expected, though. I think Lambo might still have a chance here. He's got Corruptors coming out. The Tempests are trying to poke and prod. Broodlord's moving forward. They're getting transfused. It's so hard to actually catch up to these Tempests, though. They just keep pulling back to the Archons and Stalkers. Even the Corruptors don't want to dive on top of them. And in the meantime, Zealot's getting on top of this base, not mining out these minerals. They've made it harder for Lambo to actually get there, but he's more focused on the main fight. I don't think there's enough Corruptors to actually win this fight. Could see a couple of Biles go down to try to send these units back. Can the ground army win for Lambo? If he can, maybe the Corruptor reinforcements will be enough. Still a few Broodlords left, but it's just the 4. And now carriers are starting to come out. The first one is out. There's 3 more on the way. +2 attack on the way for both players for their air armies. More Corruptors for Lambo. Again, though, it feels like his economy is just not great. As MaxPax retakes the lead in that regard, he's put down this 5th base once again. Now it is 6 bases to 5. So the worker count is similar, but MaxPax is going to have much better saturation. He's able to saturate these fresh bases. This one is juicy and fresh. Neither army is particularly quick. Oh, but MaxPax just finding little bits of value here and there. I love that there's a few more Broodlords have been morphed. There's 8 of them now, but only 11 Corruptors to deal with this air army. Infestor's coming out now as well, so this is something we've seen Dark be a master at, is using these spellcasters to great effect later on in the game. But with no Infestors and no Vipers out right now, this is so hard for Lambo. He's just struggling to take this fight with regular old units. But I think you really need those spellcasters to make this even close to efficient. And we're seeing MaxPax do as much micro as you can with this army. Drops a Time Warp. The mothership may not be long for this world. Oh, those Biles actually hitting pretty decently, I gotta say. The mothership goes down. Carrier getting pretty low. That one's gonna die. Lambo pushing this back. The supplies are very similar. Super Shield Battery turns on. I don't think Lambo should be fighting into this. He's trying to take this one. The Broodlings are doing a lot of damage. The ground army is really struggling right now. The Corruptors are all dead, though. So now the air army of MaxPax should be able to kill the rest of these Broodlords. Lambo's going to pull back, let the Roaches clean up a lot of this ground, and let those Corruptor reinforcements come out. But with another carrier, 2 more carriers showing up, Lambo's got to pull back. These supplies end up staying very, very similar. The mining really not that different at this point. Definitely expected it to be heavier in MaxPax's favor, but Lambo putting up a big fight here. Taking some cost-efficient trades, and you know what? This is a very, very even resources loss tab right now. Very, very close. That is wild how close that is considering the state of this game. Oh, and now the spellcasters come out. 1 yoink, 2 yoinks. There was a fungal. We have anything else? Broodlings coming out trying to stop the ground units. The Vipers are going down, but the air army of MaxPax is in trouble. And look at that, all the static defense died. So there's no shield battery to overcharge just yet. That was a really good fight for Lambo, but he did lose all of his Vipers and his Infestors. I don't think he has any more spellcasters on the field right now, and that's a problem because he's unlikely to remake those right away. But those were crucial. Those are why he won that fight so well. Can he just build units right now and brute force his way through the rest of this army? Files going down, but not quite taking down that shield battery. Looks like this 5th base is probably just dead. MaxPax definitely still okay economically, though. He has that fresh base to the left there. Pulling back to even more Archons. These Broodlords feeling like they're getting very low. Corruptors looking for a way in, but the Archons bullying them out. But so many more Corruptors show up. The last of the Archons goes down. There's no overcharge available. The last cannon falls as well. Are there enough Corruptors here? Looks like the Tempests are probably all dead. I like that Lambo's just diving on this. This army supply count is so similar. Stalkers warping in. Stalkers could be crucial here. Lambo's gonna tap out as the last Corruptors go down. Oh my god, MaxPax held onto that. That is actually insane. I can't believe that he held on to that. I really can't believe it. That is wild. So MaxPax goes up 2-0. We should still have one more game ready to go here. God, Lambo, I feel like that was going so well for him, but the real problem was he didn't have a fresh base. I think that was his biggest problem, was the lack of a fresh base in that game. And that can be really tough on that map. Securing the next base can be really difficult. MaxPax obviously getting a really good run by and taking down one of the attempts of Lambo, but yeah, it does feel like maybe a missed opportunity there. Lambo taking some really good fights, but losing all of the spellcasters. I think they were targeted by MaxPax. It just shows you how important those spellcasters are. Every fight was like really close, really back and forth, very even trades, except the one where he had 2 Vipers and an Infestor. And he just like dropped the fungal, yoinked 2 carriers, and then was able to just push, get big damage done. That was the best moment Lambo had. But MaxPax, with that fresh base to the lower left, he just had enough money to warp in a couple more Archons, warp in a couple more Stalkers, and it was more than Lambo could handle. All right. Players are in the lobby. We should be getting into game 3 shortly. Oh, I'm gonna grab some water real quick before we. Still chilling, still waiting. You know, I decided to put the plexiglass back on this piece here, but I'm realizing now why I had it off. You just can't see any of it on camera. Yeah, it's like fully, it's just reflection. Can't see any of the art that's on it. It's too bad. I might take the plexiglass back off of it. It looks nice in person. Although I gotta say, it's not the best piece of plexiglass, so take it back off. Alright. Successfully stalled, killed enough time for game 3 to start up. Could be our final game. I hope not. But, well, so far, it's looking pretty damn good for our blue Protoss player. In the lower right-hand corner for Psystorm Gaming, it's MaxPax. He is up 2-0 in this best-of-5 grand finals. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner wants to pull it back. We all want him to. We're rooting for him in this one. It's the Shopify Rebellion's Lambo. I don't know what Lambo's got to do though to pull it back. Do we need to see some heavy aggression? Lambo has had plenty of aggressive, borderline cheesy builds in his history. The good old German taxi, that was a classic. Well, he's had, you know, plenty of Nidus builds, roach bushes, queen pushes, lings and banes in your base. All sorts of good stuff. Wouldn't mind seeing him pull something heavily aggressive out here. You have to say, it's tough. Breaking MaxPax is one of the hardest things to do. And it's one of the things that I think makes MaxPax so frustrating to deal with is a lot of players have kind of a glaring weakness, especially I think Protoss, which is heavily strategic. A lot of players rely on one specific way of playing. You know, they have their one style of strategy they're very good at. And you might have a player like Haas, right? Classically, cannon rushing, proxying, cheesy player. How do you beat Haas? You get to the mid game, right? If you're just like a solid player at his level, if you can make it through the cheeses, you pretty much got him. He had a big weakness there. He actually more recently has played more macro, but just hasn't had quite the success that he did back in the days when the cheesiness was a little bit more prevalent. Some players like Showtime, excellent defenders, but if they try to mix in some sort of heavily aggressive build, Showtime's not as good at that because he doesn't do it as much. So Showtime's big weakness is really that he doesn't do those kinds of builds. You know what you're getting into when you get into a Showtime match. There's not really surprises. MaxPax is one of those players that he absolutely can, and we have seen him today be very aggressive, whether it's with Blink Stalkers, DTs, or Charge Lots. He's got some cheesy builds he can mix in. But also, his bread and butter has been macro cheese for a long time in a lot of matchups where he will take bases faster than anybody thought was possible. And he will defend them against things that you wouldn't think was possible to defend them against. It's true in PvP. It was true in PvT. We've seen him just grow and explode economically in ways that we didn't really think were possible, and be able to defend so many different builds that were thrown at him by the best players in the world. And it can be really frustrating when you're like, all right, this hyper-aggressive guy is going for a quick Nexus. I can crush him, but you can't. You absolutely can't. At least most of the time. That doesn't stop people from trying, though. It doesn't stop them from succeeding occasionally. In this case, though, looks like a fairly normal opener here. I like that the Oracle's trying to save the Adepts. Lambo dives for the Adepts. He gets one of them. The second one, though, looks like it is going to get away with 10 hit points. But that means the Oracle's out of juice now, so it gets, what? Was that one more kill? Yeah, just kind of killing a few lings. Gets one drone. Eats a lot of damage for it. Four Twilight Council going down for MaxPax. What are we gonna see? All right, let's play the game again. 1 for Blink, 2 for Charge, 3 for Glaives. I want to see some more votes this time. You guys gotta have faith. Just like George Michael said. Cause you gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. Baby, I'm gonna touch your body. I don't know the words to that song. That's a weird music video. You guys ever watch that music video? It's kind of wild, actually. It's like the style of it, it looks fake. Like it genuinely looks not real. George Michael in that video looks like a fake human being. Ooh, Oracle. Oh my god. And we finally see a victory here for Lambo in the early game. One of those Oracles goes down without getting too much extra damage done. Now let's see what it is. Oh, baby. It's Charge. I want to see if anybody voted for Charge. Hot diggity dog. All right, MaxPax changing it up a little bit. That Quick Templar Archives as well. Could absolutely see some aggression here. Some Charge Lot Archon. I feel like I say that every time I see this build. Usually it's not heavy aggression. It's just getting into a lot of Charge Lots and Archons quickly. Beef that army up. It could also be that MaxPax is worried about aggression from Lambo and doesn't want to be stuck with like 12 Blink Stalkers against an all-in. Blink Stalkers can be really, really good in macro games, but they do struggle in larger army fights. I think Stalkers are really good if the army supplies are even, and not great if the army supplies are misaligned. Looks like MaxPax is going to put a little pressure on just a handful of units here, but he does have a prism around somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's in the main. We found it. More Zealots warping in here as the Lings clean up that first round of Zealots. Nice Spore Crawler placement. MaxPax going to have to get out of there. Still poking the front, but he doesn't really have a good escape plan here other than running away, which works pretty well for Queens. Ooh, not a single vote for 2 in chat. Oh my god. Bagel's going for 4 in chat. Nice. I love it. Good work, team. Well, nobody guessed charge, so you're all wrong. As I expect from Twitch chat, everybody to be wrong. What I didn't expect is that I asked for numbers in chat twice. Not a single person posted a 69. Gotta say, big disappoint. Big disappoint, Twitch chat. All right, Lambo getting into a lurker den. I like this. I like this. This feels like a better position for Lambo. And MaxPax, he did put some aggression on, but it feels like Lambo deflected it quite nicely, and we're kind of just at a good spot for the Zerg player as we head towards lurkers. Oh man, my internet's having issues again. What is it with the internet this week? So wild. Oh, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, as the hive finishes up, lurkers coming out, Hydra upgrades on the way. We'll see those lurker upgrades fairly soon. I think Lambo's going to be in a much better setup position later on. That Prism did not scout the hive. MaxPax doesn't exactly know where Lambo's at tech-wise. There are disruptors already out, though. Great answer to this. We could, of course, see the follow-up Stargates and Fleet Beacons come out as well for some Tempests, but Lambo is preparing perhaps a bit of a run-by while those lurkers finish morphing up and maybe start pushing the front. I like this a lot from MaxPax, or from Lambo rather. MaxPax pushing through the center. I don't know if I like this. Now, the big problem for Lambo is he doesn't have any Vipers to try to yoink any of these disruptors. So just getting free shots off, and oh my god, these Novas are hitting hard right now. There is a counterattack going on. Probes are dying. Oh, but these disruptor Novas, Jesus. Huge, huge connections. Lings and Banes coming in. 11 probes do go down, but 22 drones have died, and I feel like MaxPax is taking a great fight. Some decent splits here from Lambo to avoid most of the damage here. Man, these Disruptor Novas are just, they are just wrecking face right now. So many lurkers have died. 6 lurkers have already died to the Disruptors. Lings and Banes are here. They're chilling. Can Lambo pull them away in time? It looks like a bunch of them are about to die to these Archons. Oh! Just one shot, that's all it takes. One opportunity. Lings and Zealots kind of just running into each other here. Worth noting, Lambo is still down workers. He's trying to get a few more drones out, but he's down 10 workers from where MaxPax is. And MaxPax continuing to push. There's a bit of a surround here potential. But Lambo's morphing those guys into Banelings. Oh my god, dude. These Disruptor Novas just hitting like crazy. Of course, I click on the one with 1 kill. 3 kills. Where's the one that has, there we go, 10 kills. That's what I'm looking for. Base count. Again, this feels so similar to last game. Lambo not able to establish those fringe bases as these run-bys just keep tearing them apart. Not even attempting to put one down, really, is what it feels like. It feels like he's accepted defeat on taking a... We already know that MaxPax, he really likes to salt his food as he takes down more lurkers. These Disruptor Novas have just been insane, and we're really, really missing those Vipers. Finally, one comes out. He grabs an Archon, but again, Viper goes down right after it does its job. Are there any more? There's 4 more on the way, but it was just the one initially. Those 4 are so far away from having enough energy to do anything. Ling's looking for a counterattack. A few Banelings being morphed as well. Oh, actually, these are just High Templar. Be good to jump on top of. More Disruptor Novas going out. I wish I had a count on how many units have been killed by these Disruptors already, because it's a lot. 2 more Lurkers going down. Another one. 14 Lurkers have died this game. The trades are insanely in MaxPax's favor right now. And the income is also in MaxPax's favor right now. And, I mean, both of those things means pretty much certain death for Lambo unless he's able to change something soon. But as 3 more Lurkers go down, and as this 5th base goes down, Lambo might have one more good fight in him. But I think we're looking at the beginning of the end of this series. It looks like the EPT Cup EU today is going to be won by MaxPax. I just do not see a way for Lambo to really take this one. I'm scared MaxPax away for now, but this is a 4-base Lambo, really mining on, what, 3.5 bases maybe? MaxPax is taking another base. It's going to be forced to be canceled, but like MaxPax is up bases here. He's up a full base and trying to take a 6th. He's put more effort into a 6th than Lambo has this game. And now MaxPax transitioning, using that bank he has, using that money he's mining to transition into the Fleet Beacon, the follow-up Stargate, and +1. He's going to move forward again. These Disruptor Novas have done an excellent job. Feedbacks on the Vipers means GG. And MaxPax takes the 3-0 victory. Lambo putting up the best fight he could today. But MaxPax just looking too strong, looking like the best Protoss in the world. I mean, I just, it's hard to see how you beat him.